I think that's the hard part about being an adult is that that the good that you want to impart to somebody and you want them to get it and they just don't get it yet.
Yeah, sometimes they are walking into something you like, I can see this happening. And if you would just listen to me, you could avoid the foolishness that comes with that thing that you're walking towards. But I can't
make
shake you into doing it.
Do it.
You got to decide. Wellness isn't just the absence of struggle. It's the art of nurturing ourselves, standing in our truth, and daring to rest and rise over and over again. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Sonshine State. My name is Sonshine Wiley, and I am your host. The Sonshine State is a podcast that talks about emotional health, healing, and wellness from the standpoint of a person who is just trying to get it right and trying to get it together. Today on this episode, I have an amazing guest with me. She'll tell you a little bit about herself, but Miss Dani Jackson is in the building, y'all. Let's give her a round of applause. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. Tell the people about yourself.
Yes. Well, first off, thank you for having me.
Yes.
And like as was said, my name is Dani Jackson Smith. I am, I'm from Chicago. I'm the founder of The Creators and also co-CEO. Have a great partner who's in New York. A little bit about me, I guess my overall is that I'm a human, it's like, it's not just what we do, it's who we are. So I think that's why this podcast is really cool, is because you get into the inner, not just, what we do on the exterior, but I've been in the arts for a long time. I've worked in advertising. I've had to, wear several different hats. And so now as an entrepreneur, there are a lot of different things that come up. So I'm excited to sort of see where this conversation goes.
Yes, me too. I have been looking forward to this conversation for a while now. A lot of people don't know we are related, kind of, sort of, in a way. She
true.
is my child's aunt. She is the brother of my baby daddy. In other words,
the sister.
Oh, sorry, the sister.
I'm a lady.
The sister of my daughter's father. I don't have a baby daddy. I don't like that term. But my daughter's father, this is his sister. And it's so funny to be surrounded by people who are aiming to live a life that challenges normal boundaries and challenges the norms of how things should go. And I will tell you that the journey to being able to get here from me has not been an easy one, because I've had to go through a lot of ups and downs and a lot of different things in order for me to really understand what wellness looks like for me. So with all that being said, how did you find, or how did you discover that wellness was essential to your life?
Well, living in a state of stress causes a lot of pain, causes a lot of confusion. And I think I've had different areas in my life where I've learned more about wellness and more about looking inside than outside.
Yeah.
I would say one of the first things for me, well, it's hard to say at first. Okay, I'm 41, so it's probably many firsts. But one opportunity that I remember is reading The Alchemist.
Oh, nice.
And really leaning into that whole thought of then the universe is conspiring on my behalf, and I just ended up surrounding myself, like, through manifestation or through magnetism around with people that had similar thought processes, right? And so that really helped me a lot, so that there were times where, like, I lost a job or I hated a job, and the moment where I leaned into, like, wait, but who do I want to be? Something revealed itself. And so I think this has sort of been like a continual journey. Like many people, I started off in church. So you started off with, praying and things like that. And then sort of expanding into, like, what does yoga look like? What does meditation look like? What does, sitting quietly and being still look like? Or journaling, So I think there are a lot of facets to a wellness journey. And I think, similar to what you were saying at the top of this, I'm always in a space of curiosity and learning, like, how to figure out what feels good at the moment for me.
Yeah. Ooh, that's good. I love it. I love it. I think that your journey is inspirational because you are an entrepreneur, and to be able to get to a place where you're actually successful as an entrepreneur and can actually sustain yourself and your family as an entrepreneur is not something to laugh at or to shy away from or to look like down on, because it's not a whole lot of people who can go out here and be like, okay, so this is the idea that I want to create. This is the path that I want to take, pursue it, find out the right steps to take to actually make it happen, to execute it and to execute it well and to actually be honored for those executions. That's a huge deal. When did you know that the creative path was one that you actually wanted to take?
Well, I believe that we are all creators made in the image of the Most High Creator. And so I think that creativity is who we are. It's a way of life. It may show up in different spaces and places. I think a lot of times people quiet their creativity because when you're a child, they teach you everything, like how to paint, how to draw, how to express yourself. But over the years, that light is no longer encouraged. And so we become afraid to call ourselves creative. So I had to give myself permission to call myself a creative, first of all, because my background educationally, I got my undergrad degree in advertising. I worked in advertising, been a producer for many years. And unfortunately in advertising, they don't see production always as a creative field. Right. And so sometimes it's seen as very type A or didactic. So to go back to your original question of when did I first see that, I think it's sort of been there my whole life. Like I was in choirs and I like to write and I was on the yearbook staff and wanted to be a journalist. So there are all these sort of areas of storytelling that developed and revealed themselves over the years from elementary school to high school. And I think what's great is that my parents encouraged that. They didn't dim it. But I will say my mother would always say, like, you could sing on the side. You could do that or this or that on the side. While also still encouraging us to do that thing. I think everybody should know parents are going to want to make sure that you can support yourself.
Yes.
And it's not always easy in the arts. I think it's a very vulnerable space to be in. So, and especially even in advertising, right? Like you can major in something and not get a career in that.
Correct.
But I majored in advertising. I worked in advertising, worked at agencies like Leo Burnett, then Havas, and then Edelman before striking out on my own. And so I really did have a focus of like, how can I marry creativity with business? And then I'll just say one more thing to that is, I think even as being a creative person, it's sometimes easy to hide behind the business part. Right. And so I had the opportunity to live in New York for quite a while. I had some really awesome business partners. We had a company called Street Knowledge Media. Took us to a lot of places and spaces. Got to be really creative. But I got really comfortable behind the scenes and again had to relearn how to embrace like, oh, I'm also a creative person. So I think it's even in that it's a continued journey.
Absolutely.
And I think that the blessing is really in the first part that I said, which is understanding that everybody has that spark of creativity. It just shows up differently.
So what did that conversation look like with your parents when you let them know, okay, so marketing is something that I got this degree in, I worked in for a while, but now I want to quit my job and I want to do things on my own?
Oh, with my parents? Well, I was grown. So it wasn't a thing, and I've had independent endeavors even before now, right? So after going to undergrad, then I went to grad school, got a master's in media arts production, but then I still came out with like not a job, right? So what I've learned is that when you have a camera, people want to talk to you. And so to all the students out there, to all the people out there, leverage that opportunity if that's something that you're interested in. So I ended up getting an internship while in undergrad. And then I continued with that sort of internship in grad school. And that was through the 4 A's, MAPE program. So that's the American Association of Advertising Agencies. Their multicultural advertising intern program. I know it's a mouthful, but that's how I got into the industry.
Yes.
But even with that, once that internship from grad school completed, I didn't have a regular 9 to 5. And so my previous internship or first internship at Leo Burnett introduced me to what was called like a AIR, like artist in residence, or like an artist in music program within the agency. So, you know, with great people there on the music team at the time, they brought in musicians.
Yeah.
So I did that independently in New York. So I would bring, you know, I would tap my friends at Epic, tap my friends at Def Jam, tap my friends at whatever label, and bring those artists to agencies like Deutsch and JWT, things like that.
Yep.
So that was my first independent endeavor. So then I worked over 15 years in agencies, right? Like all the agencies I named earlier. And so now by the time that I went independent, as I say, making my sideline prime time, because people would ask me like, hey, could you negotiate this contract for me? Could you look at this or that for me? And I would do that on the side. But once I sort of was like, I say work sometimes it's like Six Flags. After you've rode all the rides, you kind of need to leave the theme park. Yeah. For at least for a bit. Yeah. You might want to come back. Yeah. But you know. Yeah. And so this was my opportunity. Like if I don't do it now, I might not ever go independent again. And so now it's been 2.5 years being fully independent in this business. And it's already had a couple of iterations and it's been great.
Yeah. So what would you say to a person who's aspiring to get to the point that you're at, but hasn't quite necessarily figured out the pathway to get there? Like they want to be in advertising. They want to do the commercials. They want to work with the Regina King, Dove commercials and advertisements, things like that. How do you suggest that they make that transition?
Well, look, I always say there's no wrong way to eat a Reese's. I know that's like an old ad now, but it's still the true line, right? So there's no one path to get to what you want, right? So yes, I majored in advertising, but you don't have to major in advertising to work in advertising or in PR. Right. Some people are journalists. Some people are artists that, you know, try different things. Back in the day, before my time, you would also like often hear like somebody was a bartender and drawing on napkins and somebody discovered like, oh, you should be an art director because you were able to do that, or something of that nature, right? So there are many paths to get to advertising, but I think number one, first and foremost, you have to do your research. It definitely helps to get an internship in some form of fashion. And when nobody hires you, hire yourself. I mean, that's what essentially gets you to build your resume, and learning how to build a resume, learning how to talk about the experiences that you've had. Don't discount any experience that you had. I mean, like back to my time in New York, I mean, our main artist that we worked with was Nipsey Hussle, like in the beginning, right? When he was on Epic and, a beginning, there are probably many beginnings, but, I mean, that was an interesting time. I mean, I slept on chairs pushed together and like, I had like 4 roommates and, you know what I mean? Like, so it's this whole thing, but it's something that I could easily discount. But when I was going for my second job as a senior producer, I had that on my resume. And I had a kind of rude person say like in the interview, well, why are you here today? I said, dude, because you're about to give me this job. Like, I'm not sure what you thought this meeting was for, but this is that.
This is for me.
This is why I'm here. But what he noticed right away was like, oh, you work with Nipsey? Oh, so you know this person and that person and that person. And he started naming people. And I'm like, I know those people. You know what I mean? So again, like not discounting any opportunity because that was something we created on our own. I mean, we had an office in Epic, you know, on that floor at the time. And we were really like working hard. But I wasn't making a lot of money. So it's easy to say like, oh, well, I did that on my own. It's not as important as when I worked for X, Y, and Z person.
Right.
No. I kept all that on my resume.
Yeah, absolutely.
For quite a while.
Yeah.
So that's my advice. If get the internships, get the job experience,
Right.
and when you can't, make it happen yourself. And even if you're working at a place, please keep your extracurriculars. Like, don't lose yourself in the
Right.
place,
Right.
because you still have to have an identity.
Yeah, because you also sing.
Yes.
You know what's funny? Today, I had a reminder of North Avenue Band rehearsal.
Oh, wow. Yes.
I got a reminder for that today. I'm like, why
All
am I
these
still
years
getting these
later.
reminders? All these years later, I'm still getting reminders.
That's wild. Yeah. We've had a couple of different bands. That's crazy. A few different company opportunities, or So I mean, I think that's another good thing is like just keep trying it,
Yeah.
and don't let go of your gifts. So I still write poetry.
Yeah.
I still love movies. Tuesday is my movie night. That's also considered research, right? You go to the
Yes.
movies, you pour into yourself, and that's
Right.
considered research.
So is TikTok considered research too? Social media scrolling and
Yes, but
figuring out the
I think we have to like hold ourselves accountable and not get lost in the scroll for like
Yes.
days. But yeah, it is.
Of course.
You need
of
to be
course.
in tune with what's happening.
Yeah, definitely. So with that happening in your life, and how did you balance entrepreneurship with your personal life?
Oh, well, it wasn't that hard because there wasn't work-life balance when I was at the agency. There was just
Gotcha.
work
Right.
and non-work.
Yeah.
So, I think work-life balance and like true, you know, equal playing fields at home and at work, I don't know if that's actually real. I think there are going to be days where you give more in one space and give less in the other. But I would say, I was able to go on my own because my husband made space for that.
Got you.
Right. And so I think that's been a real benefit is that I do have a partner
Yeah.
that was where I could say, all right, I'm going to follow this particular dream.
Right.
And I'm going to have a severe pay cut.
Yeah.
And
You're gonna have to hold us down. Yeah.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
And then likewise, like, I was able to do the same thing for him in
Right.
different spaces and places where he
Yeah.
went into new fields like
Right.
real estate, and now he's in the solar workforce development. And so we're both entrepreneurs
Yeah.
in the same household, and it's always amazing to me. Like, man, we keep the lights on.
Yeah.
We like
And
like
y'all
real
own
entrepreneurs.
properties and all
Yeah.
all the things.
Yeah, we own properties, all the things. But to know that you can do that.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
And also to know that freedom and financial freedom doesn't always equal like being the richest person, like an Elon Musk type of person.
Correct.
As when you have your essentials covered, there is a massive freedom in that,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's been my lesson so
That's
far.
amazing. So you are with this entrepreneur now who now understands and supports where you are. Was that your experience with all of your dating situations? Or did you
Girl,
have to
I was like, I'm never dating an entrepreneur again. I am so tired of these entrepreneurs. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't.
sound like you got some stories?
Oh, I have lots of stories. But when I lived in New York and, my partner at the time, we worked together, which was
Interesting.
challenging to say the least. But no, we had a good time. You know what I mean? Like we had a good time. We worked together. We had a good time. But I just remember being very poor,
Yeah.
and the stress of like having your landlord knock on the door and you like, man, like, let's just like act like we're not here. Like, just be real quiet. Maybe they'll go away. You know what I mean? Like that was really stressful,
Yeah.
And so, I think that made me initially say like, man, I want to, I want to like follow the Cinderella dream of like,
Right.
there's some dude out there that has all the bread that's going to like, pay for my life. But as my grandma always said, you let people pay for those things, you owe them,
Ooh.
so you have to be mindful and have your own.
Well, now which grandma was that?
Oh, listen, my grandma, my mother's mother, she said, you can't be with no man that can't put butter on your toast.
Ooh.
So I said, well, amen.
Amen.
Praise the Lord. Then my dad's mother said, bless your hearts, Granny. She said, one mortgage is cheaper than 2 rents. And I said, well,
she's not
look
wrong.
at God.
She's not wrong.
Not wrong at all.
She's not wrong.
Like, y'all gonna keep dating. You gonna pay that rent. You gonna pay that rent. You might as well just have one mortgage.
Correct. So before you met the person that you're dating right now, so was it like a love at first sight? Was it like a magical story, or was it
I guess we have a kind of magical-ish story.
Okay.
So my husband is, like, we've been married now for 7 years, coming on 7 years. Yep. We met at a bar. Okay. I never met anybody at a bar. Okay. Actually, he's the only person I met at a bar, and I married him. That's crazy. But it was before Uber was in Chicago, so it was like 2012. Yeah. And I was standing outside of the bar ready to catch a taxi home that was not coming very fast. Got you. So, this dude pulled up, and I was like, oh, he's cute. But I'm not going to say anything to him.
I was about to say, I know you didn't just jump in the car with this stranger.
Not at all. No,
okay, I was about to say, now wait a minute.
I'm too scary for that. But, and then it's like I saw him see me and he saw me see him. So it was like, it was definitely like, dang, our eyes connected. Yeah. But I was like, but I'm not going to say anything. There's nothing for me to say right now. I'm leaving. I'm waiting on my taxi. But it was taking too long. So my friends were like, come back in. And when I came back in, some roundabout way, he ended up at our table because his friend was dating one of my friend's friends. Got you. That whole thing. And then we just like talked all night, all the way into the morning. And then at the end of the night, I was like, girl, is he safe? Because I still didn't have
need a ride home.
I needed a ride. No taxi came for me. But come to find out, he used to work with one of my friends also. So it was just like a whole lot of synergy and connection there. So she was like, yeah, girl, he's safe or whatever. So he took me home, and then we talked all night until the morning. And he was like, can I just go to sleep upstairs? I'm tired.
Oh, Jesus.
And I was like, nope.
I know that's right. No, sir, you got to go home. As much as I want you to stay. No. Because see, people don't talk about that. We want it to happen sometimes on the first day, but we got to be like, you know what? Internally, I realize that for my personal health and boundaries, I got to say no right now.
Yeah, that was exactly right.
I got to say no right now.
I had several things. Number one, I didn't have time to clean up my house. So I was like, you're not going to embarrass me. Right? You don't know me like that. Right. You come in judging my life. Right. And then also, like, I know me. So it's like, okay, look, I don't have dudes just come over to sit on my couch like that. So why don't I reel in my hormones and I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna bid you adieu, sir. Bid you adieu. Yeah. So it was a great date, but he didn't stay that night.
All right. So. I love it. I love a good boundary but you know what? I would not have been able to judge you if it went another way because you grown as hell.
Oh, yeah.
And you do what you want to do. But I understand that sometimes when we're trying to set ourselves up for something that is real, we have to put certain things in place to communicate, hey, I'm looking for something real. I'm not looking for something temporary. But wait a minute. At that time, you weren't looking for something real.
Yeah, I don't know if I knew what I was looking for exactly. Okay. I just knew that I needed my space. Yeah. And I didn't want to... I didn't trust myself and I didn't know him that well. Right. So it was like, okay, well, let's just not do this. Like if I'm uncomfortable, I'm not comfortable, you know? So that was pretty much where it was. And it was that I was uncomfortable with him. Yeah. I was actually uncomfortable with myself. I was like,
say more.
Yeah. I mean, like I'm a human, I'm a woman. I want things. I like physical touch and like, emotional support and all of those things. So sometimes I think, you have to pace yourself. Yeah. It's like overeating. It's like, you had a great day, had a great
That's
evening, it
enough.
went long. Like, why don't we call it one
Right.
and we can start this again another day so that I could have a clear perspective. So it was
Yeah.
less about him and more about me.
I love that. I love that. I really do. So, in your journey, when it comes to health, relationships, family, all that kind of stuff, do you have you experienced people who have had an inkling of jealousy of you because of what you've amassed, and maybe they, for whatever reason, they were feeling like maybe that because of whatever it is that you've done, it maybe spoke to what they haven't done?
I don't know because I don't pay attention that hard.
I love it.
Yeah.
Period. Yeah, that's not where my focus is. I love it. So even with that, we, of course, you already know on social media all the time, you'll see people talking about things that don't even make sense and things that are not necessarily healthy in the way that they perceive certain things. So sometimes you do see on social media people being like, well, she doesn't deserve this and she doesn't deserve that. The whole Meghan Markle thing was crazy because it spoke to how people didn't really want to see Black people. And even the Ralph Lauren thing that's coming out right now, people are not necessarily happy about seeing Black people living in luxury or living well. And so that's crazy to me. It brings to my attention. So recently, do you know who Nate Jackson is? So Nate Jackson, he was recently on the Breakfast Club. He had an interview and he was talking about experiencing kind of conflicted, but still being able to speak to his own joy with a person who was going for and shooting for the same thing. So him and Gary Owen have a podcast together. I think it's called the Nate and Gary podcast, something like that. And on the podcast, they talked about Nate saying something to the effect of Gary kind of stealing his style of doing crowd work. And they kind of talked through it, worked through it, and came to a solution. But on the Breakfast Club, they kind of tried to be messy about it. Envy was like, well, what do you think about Gary stealing your style? And Nate was like, see, hold on for a second. See, you being messy. That's not what happened. We actually came for a resolution. If you came to a resolution, and I loved how they were able to kind of come together and be able to speak to, okay, so this is something that you wanted. This is something that I wanted. I was able to get it first, but I'm still celebrating you along the way. You know, he was like, I'm gonna let you have your moment, but I'm still about to celebrate myself. And so I appreciate that because sometimes I have a little bit of an issue of celebrating myself in front of people that I know want the same thing and I might be getting it faster. So do you think so how do you handle, or you said you haven't really focused on that?
I mean, yeah, I've had spaces where I was shy about saying, like, it's almost been like, I had a great day when you're talking to somebody that's walking around like, hi, big bird. It's like, oh, crap.
Right.
I just want you to know.
Yeah.
I had a great day.
Right.
So I think, one time one time I was talking to somebody I knew and I was telling them all this bad stuff. I was like, man, I was supposed to go on this trip with this person and they couldn't go and they canceled and then this happened and that happened. And you know what the person did? They turned to me and said, man, you need better friends.
Oh.
And I was like,
well, you might be right. You might be right.
So I got better friends.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I've always had pretty good people around me and very supportive people. I've never really had, like, catty girlfriends. I don't know what that's like. I never got picked on in school like that because, I'm not from that stock.
Yeah. You were a fighter, though.
I had a few fights in elementary school. But, I mean, it just seems like so long ago. But, like, TV will make you think, like, there's, like, this, and I'm not saying it's not, but I didn't experience the mean girl thing, right? And so, I'm blessed in that way.
That's good.
And I'm sure there were other things going on. I did have some moments where people said weird stuff to me. Like I taught at a high school when I lived in Buffalo. That's where I went to grad school, University of Buffalo. Yep. I taught at a high school, and I had my hair cut short. and I had this rainbow scarf that my aunt gave me because I thought it was beautiful because, you know, I grew up with the rainbow.
Right.
Before there were rainbow flags. So
Yes.
I just, before I knew about
we
rainbow
had
flags.
Rainbow Bright and all kind of stuff.
Yeah, I love rainbows. It was just, and so I do remember this lady telling all the students that, like, I must be gay because my hair cut short and I got a rainbow scarf. And I was like, if that's all it takes.
Dang.
Like, that's all it takes.
Something similar happened to me. I was walking on FAMU's campus. I think it was like my freshman year, junior year. No, my freshman year. And I had braids straight back. Cause like, but they were like long braids or whatever. So they weren't like the little short braids. They were long braids straight to the back, little baby hairs and whatever. And he was like, "Oh, you need to take your hair out like that. Are you a lesbian or something?" I was like, "What?"
I had no clue that this was the criteria. But,
Right. This is 2001, my dear.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
So I think throughout life you see haters or you know, you feel hate from time to time, but it's throughout my life that's never really been a focal point for me.
Yeah.
But but it comes in waves, you know.
Yeah.
And sometimes it happens in the workplace.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
and it's not direct.
No.
And I think that's a whole nother
Yes.
situation and conversation to
Yes.
have, you know, passive aggressive people at work. And
My God.
but that can cause a lot of stress, a lot of trauma, a lot of pain. And I don't even know why they call it passive aggressive sometimes. Sometimes
it's straight on attack sometimes.
it feels like aggressive, you know. So, I mean, I remember periods of time like that where every day I was like praying and listening to good music.
Yeah.
It's actually like why I say hola good people in most of my like emails and things like that, because during a period of my career, I thought all these people were out to get me in the workplace. And I did not feel safe. So in order to change my mindset, I was like, okay, well, I have to assume that people have good intentions.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to call people good people until, you know, I mean, I'm just going to do that for my own well-being so that I can see them in a different light, because it may not be that a person's a bad person. It's that they're their own number one priority.
Yeah.
And
I
I'm
love
not
how
their
you
priority.
reframe that. I love how you reframe that, because a lot of times, even for myself, you're helping me. A lot of times, even for myself, I go into this workplace and I see these people intentionally do things that I know that they're doing because I am the only Black person in this company left, period. And it's hard to not see those things. I'm even having to tell myself, like, hey, stop automatically thinking and looking at the negative aspects of these things. Reframe it so that you can get a better outcome. It's not even about them right now. It's about you.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, they're not even thinking about you. They're thinking about themselves right now. I love that. I love that. I think that it's helpful to have a mindset to where you're like, okay, so what is going to serve me in this moment? And not necessarily because you're trying to be selfish, but because you're trying to make sure that you are number one, that you're okay.
Yeah.
You got to be okay.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. Ooh, that's crazy. So right now, you have some amazing things brewing with you right now. You are now expecting your first child.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations. So on that journey to you expecting, so like I know that you've done the entrepreneur thing, you've done the wife thing, or you're doing the wife thing, and you're doing, let me say it like that, not past tense. And so now you are adding another aspect into your life. What do you feel like? So first of all, tell the people about your journey, if you don't mind speaking about that.
Yeah. So like I said, I'm 41. So I started looking into getting pregnant like between 37 on the journey to 38. And for those that don't know, you have to, so you don't just like say, hey, I'm going to have IVF. I think actually there's a lot of conversation around fertility that's just not had.
Right.
And so, you know, I think there are a lot more opportunities, and God willing, there'll continue to be opportunities for people to experience, you know, how to get pregnant if it's not happening naturally, right? And so one thing to know, right, is that if you've been with somebody and you are not having protected sex and it's been 6 months, you're considered infertile.
Oh,
Like, that's something to just know.
okay.
Now, it doesn't mean that you is something wrong with your body or whatever. It just means that whatever's happening, you're not having a baby. And they expect you, you've been doing this for 6 months or more. And me and my husband was at it for 5 years. They was like, I don't know what's going on. Like, what's happening? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. Like, I'm not thinking very much about it because I'm working. It's not an inconvenience to me that I didn't have kids at the time. It was okay. But people kept saying, like, no, you really need to, like, focus. And I think that was a lesson for me, is that, number one, you have to focus on your health and understand what's going on with your body. Focus on growing a family the way that you focus on work.
Yeah.
I mean, because, like, setting up doctor's appointments, making sure you have the right insurance, all of those things, it takes time.
Yes.
And you don't, and personally, I didn't want to do it. And I know a lot of people don't want to do it, but that is a part of the journey. And also sometimes the actual process to get pregnant is not as long as the process to get a doctor's appointment. You sign up for an appointment in January, they say, okay, we'll see you in June.
Oh,
What?
damn.
Well, okay. So just like really understanding that the systems that we work within also take time. And that would be the same thing as if you were getting an adoption or something like that. So anywho, we started the process. The first step was them just saying, like, okay, like, we see that you aren't getting pregnant on your own. So the first thing we did was an IUI. And that's basically, they prep you with all of the same fertility hormones and things like that. But it's not IVF. Okay. Right. So basically the sperm gets dropped off in your uterus. And look, you guys, I'm not a doctor, so you guys go get the doctor terms. Okay. But, and then you pretty much on your way after you do all the other steps they have you do ahead of time. I did get pregnant, but I had an ectopic pregnancy. So, then I had to go through the process of expelling that egg, because if the egg continues to grow in you, it ruptures, that could be very traumatic, and it could kill you probably. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not paying attention. None of that happened to me.
Okay.
So, and then I thought, I'm a producer. I'm like, okay, what's the next step? Let's go. What's next? Well, what's next was I left my job. So then I had new insurance, and I needed to get new doctors, and like,
wait for a whole new
that
appointment.
Goes through its own process. And also, even within the IUI process, there were rounds, right? Like, we did a couple rounds, right? So next thing you know, like, after a couple rounds, that was a whole year, and then we're on to another year. And so with the IVF process, I think we've probably done it twice, and we got successful on the second time. And that's been a blessing, So I guess my advice to people, especially women, especially like if you're like in your late 20s, 30s to mid 30s or whatever, just go get your body checked out. Yeah. Just understand, like, what is my egg count? Yeah. How is my body doing? It's not really a big deal. There's no pressure to do anything in that moment, but it's just good to know. Like, I didn't even check until I was 38, and I was happy to say my eggs was popping. Okay, they told me, like, oh, some ladies are at a 1 in this category. You're at a 2, and this is great. And
oh, amazing.
I was like, oh, look at me.
Right.
But it was still a process, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
And of course, you have to get used to people calling you geriatric or elderly. Oof. Yeah, I still haven't gotten used to that one.
Yeah, that's not cute.
But yeah, it was not cute. It was like, well, you and and also you have to, like, that's another space where you have to ward off the haters. Oh. Because two things: people are insensitive and they don't understand things, and they just talk. Like, even recently, our accountant was like, why y'all don't have kids yet? I keep doing this tax returns for 2 people. And I was like, sir. And he's going in and going in. And I was like, I'm pregnant, first of all. But you don't even know the journey it took to get here. Right. It's just very weird. Right. And then people say things like, you must not ever want to have kids. Oh, you just want to be an independent woman. It's like, bro, like, you guys, y'all don't know me. So, like, relax. Right. But to know that you don't even owe them a response.
Yeah.
But they just keep talking.
Mm-hmm.
They don't stop talking, especially a certain generation.
Yes, Lord.
You know who you are.
Yes, Lord.
We love you, but
We love you, but
relax.
It's okay to be quiet sometimes.
Yeah.
You don't have to put the pressure on. Things are going to work out as they should.
But I'm grateful to say, like, I never got that pressure, like, from my mom or my parents.
Right,
You know, like,
right.
my mom, she would always just say, well, whatever you got to do, if you want to adopt it, however you want to do it, you know, like, my mom was always just, like, very supportive.
Good.
And I don't think everybody has that because, you know, you see on TV, like, the moms, you know, being really stressed. And then you have to watch for the doctors.
Yeah.
Because I've been blessed to have pretty good doctors that have been encouraging. But I went to a doctor this year thinking that I needed to have a OBGYN appointment, which I didn't.
Okay.
I was just extracurricular, set up a whole appointment I didn't need. But she didn't even know me. She had not seen my records.
Oh, God.
And she was just like, well, did they tell you that it's probably impossible for you to get pregnant?
Wait, what?
At this age. Did they tell you have a slim to no chance?
What?
I went back to my real doctors. I was like, why did she talk to me like this?
Right. Don't ever send me back to the heifer.
They didn't even send me there. I sent myself there. I
Oh,
was
my
like,
God.
I sent myself to purgatory. No, but it was just very awkward. And it really, I think what it is somebody putting their experiences, right? She's been with these, she's been a doctor, she's experienced probably a lot of women that were on their journey and did not have success, or she knows the statistics. But listen, all praise to the creator. Listen, God is real.
Yep.
Like the numbers that are there are not always the numbers for you.
Exactly.
You know? So the statistics are the statistics, but you are you.
Exactly.
So that's sort of what I mean by, like, you have to kind of keep your own light and encouragement, because there's a lot that could be working against you emotionally.
Yeah.
And it's hard when the people you want to depend on, like your doctors, are discouraging.
Yeah. That's amazing. So you have such a strong mind in dealing with all of these different things. Has it always been that way for you? Have you always been super confident in yourself and being able to be certain about, okay, so this is what's best for me, and forget what everybody else says. This is how I need to approach myself and my life and caring for me?
No, I think they're like similar to Oprah, like when she says like she's a people pleaser.
Yeah.
I think I am as well, like where it may not be overt, you know, but you want to make people happy. You want to have things flow a certain way. You want to be understood, all these different things. So no. And I think a lot of times at work, I was told, like, you need to speak up, you know?
Yeah.
I've had great mentors and stuff like that. Like, shout out to Renetta McCann. I always give her a shout out. But just people that would say, like, if you're in the room, know that you're supposed to be in the room.
Yeah.
You know, I've had people to pull me up when I spent 5 years in the same position and with no real raise, you know, where someone had to advocate for me to be on projects and to be able to travel internationally and work on particular things. Because in my business, you're not always given the right projects that can propel your career.
Right.
So that's why it's very dangerous to be, like, to only do one thing.
Yeah.
Can be very dangerous. Or to only have knowledge about one thing or only explore one facet of yourself can be very dangerous, because what happens if somebody puts a roadblock in front of that space, you know? What else do you have to talk about? What else do you have to offer, you know? And I think especially as a Black person, as a Black woman, a diverse person, you know, a woman in general, like you need to have some sort of flexibility, diversity about what you offer.
Right.
So I say that to say is that I've not come on this journey alone. I think my parents also encouraged me to be outspoken.
Yeah.
even if it wasn't something that
They
they
wanted to
agreed
hear.
with.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying when you're like 14 and you're trying to say like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
I'm going to do something else.
Yes.
But it started that
Yes.
early where my mom was like, you're becoming an adult. Like, you have to
Yeah.
be able to say what it is that you want, even if you think I don't want that.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. I am having challenges with your niece with that, because she's now learning that it's okay to say that, but it's like she needed permission to do that. And I didn't even realize that I had to give her that permission. But I was like, yeah, it's okay for you to not like what I like. You can say, if I say, do you want this shirt? You can say no. It's okay. I won't be offended. I am a grown adult, has a different set of interests, a different style set, and it's okay for it to be different from yours.
Right.
Just as long as you're not out here trying to be crazy looking, I'm all right with it.
I found this jacket at my mom's house. When I was in high school, I loved the jacket. It was like this red, plasticky looking jacket that had like flags on it or something. And my mom was like, this is a terrible looking jacket. I just want you to know it's ugly. And she was telling me all the time it was ugly. And then one day when I found it again, I was like,
It is ugly.
she was right.
It is
This
ugly.
thing is hideous. It is terrible.
Yeah.
So, it's like, I think that's the hard part about being an adult is that you know the good that you want to impart to somebody and you want them to get it and they just don't get it yet.
Yeah, sometimes they are walking into something you're like, I can see this happening. And if you would just listen to me, you could avoid the foolishness that comes with that thing that you're walking towards. But I can't
make
shake you into
can't make
doing
you
it.
do it.
You got to decide. I have to teach you how to make good choices and trust that you'll do it. Yeah. Oh my God. Wow.
And I have not had the opportunity to fully do that yet, but I shall as
yes, you will.
New mom.
Yes. And you, my goodness, look forward to the conversations, the questions, but I didn't see it like that. Well, why did you do it like that?
Oh, I'm already praying for patience.
I pray for patience for you too.
I'd be like, what you mean you don't get it? And I was like, get it.
Right.
Figure it out. And it's sort of interesting because it's like, well, I've had 41 years to figure it out, but I want somebody who's had 5 years or 10 years to know what I know and have learned over 41 years. So it's sort of humbling in that way to just sort of be like, okay, you used to be 10.
Right.
Okay.
And what were you doing at 10? Did you know it?
Did you know this? No. You didn't know this at 10.
You did not. No, absolutely not.
So I'm praying for my patience because it's not like I'm not perfect. I'd be like, I'm a businesswoman now. I'd be like, come on, chop, chop.
Right. Exactly.
Get it done.
Right. 1, 2, and 3. Let's go.
Like, I'm so sorry. Maybe slow down.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Oh my gosh. Ooh, even in my friendships, I have to do that sometimes. On my friendships, I have to be like, okay, this is not work. Stop talking to them like they are people that you work with.
Yeah. My husband tells me that. Yeah. He's like, I don't work for you.
Ooh.
I don't, he doesn't like producer Dani. As much as just smiley Dani.
Yes.
But, you're a whole person, so some of the benefits of what you do in the workplace should also benefit your personal life in whatever way that looks like. But, it takes a different approach with your partners and with your family members and with your friends because you're not on the clock and they're not beholden to a contract with a corporation or whatever business. So, it's like people get emotional at work. I rarely get super emotional at work because you know what? I can leave.
Right.
It's different now because I hired myself, but in the past I just wouldn't get, there's not the assumption that this is my everything and these are my best friends and this, hey, this is the workplace and there are things that come with the workplace. but I learned a lot of great life lessons, and I've made a lot of great friends in the workplace. But everything kind of has to grow in time and in tandem,
Yeah.
So I say that to say that I've also learned how to taper off, thanks to therapy, bringing my production style home.
Amen. I'm still learning it. Amen. I love it.
It's a continued journey.
So what's next for you?
Well, I fly home from LA tomorrow. No. Yeah, what's next? I mean, I guess right now I am practicing spending time with myself. So like in the mornings, I've been a little inconsistent with this, but like I've been getting up to write.
Yeah.
And I've been doing a lot of free writing, so just kind of like letting my brain dump onto a page, asking myself different questions. I think my biggest thing is curiosity, like staying really curious. I love journalism. Yeah. I'm not a journalist, but I love that. I believe in free speech. Yeah. I believe that we should be supporting like NPR and PBS and all these different spaces and places where there is like some free speech. Yeah. And I've been just thinking about like what essays or what things resonate with me. Like I listen. Actually, I have to go back to go forward. So like I listen to a lot of like Maya Angelou and Langston Hughes and Dr. King and Malcolm X and all these different people, right? Because it helps to reground myself so that I can kind of see like, oh, like here are some things that move my spirit. Yeah. That and also like I listen to other things like Sadhguru and Wayne Dyer and like I listen to a variety of things and I think that helps me to stay balanced and even. Yeah. Because I can't always listen to like the guys that be yelling at you. Yeah. Like that's great sometimes when you're in the gym. Right. But absolutely. Sometimes I need like a peaceful voice to guide me. Yeah. And sometimes I need a woman and sometimes I need a Black woman. Yep. And, so what's next? I think it's all a little bit of an exploration, but the big things for me are setting those intentions around my business. I've been with my partner, Jenny Lumpkin, who's in New York City, almost a year now. Yeah. And that's been a great partnership. And so, we're growing our business and I'm looking forward to where that goes. That's what's next. That's what's happening. Like it's happening right now. And I think that's another thing is like, I'm also practicing this sort of mindset of like, I'm in progress. Yeah. Because sometimes we can be like, well, once I get that over there, life will be good.
I think we do set those unrealistic ending points because we all say, well, eventually I want the house. Eventually I want the husband. Eventually I want the car. Eventually I want this, that, and the other. And I don't think that we always approach life with that growth mentality or understanding that the process of life is something to be appreciated and enjoyed along the way. A lot of times I'm guilty myself. I will go into something wondering whether or not I'm doing good enough because I haven't gotten to that end thing yet. And so I think that's very key and that's amazing because like it helps me to understand, to be patient because life hasn't ended just because I've reached this specific point in it. Right. It's not over. It's a continued process.
And there's no perfection. Like you get the house and it's not perfect. Yeah. And then you're like, oh, I really wanted this house. But now you're like, look at that paint.
Right. Now I gotta cut the grass.
Now I gotta cut the grass. You wanted that guy. You got that guy. And then he's like, so
now I gotta clean up after.
Whatever that thing is. Right. So I think that's why it's sort of better to see things as a journey. And also I really am continuing to practice, like the journey part, but also not tapering my expectations, but monitoring them,
Yeah.
being aware of them, because even in a relationship, you want the person to be you. I'm like,
And that's not real.
it's not, that person's not me.
No.
And that person's not perfect.
No.
And, we have to just make a decision if we're going to figure it out or we're not going to figure it out.
Correct.
So there's, I think, but that's kind of life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, none of these things are perfect. And we just have decisions to make. And there's not really at the time a completely wrong decision a lot of times. There's just a decision that was made. Did it work? Great if it did. If it didn't work, now I need to pivot and do something else.
Yep.
But even practicing not dwelling on oh my gosh, I wish I didn't do that. It's the worst decision I ever made. It's probably not the worst decision you ever made.
Yeah.
It was just a decision that didn't work.
Yeah, definitely. Ooh, I love that. So we do have to end here, but I do want you to let the people know how they can reach you, how they can stay in contact with you, where they can find your business, the information about the creators and things like that. So tell them a little bit about where to find you.
Okay. Yeah, I am. Our website is thecreators.com, and that is THECRE, the number 8, TORS.com. You can also find us on Instagram at _creators. And you can find me on Instagram at Miss Dani Jackson. And I'm on, LinkedIn. Please don't hit me on Facebook too much because I'm a little slower there. But yeah, you can find me on all the socials that way. Yeah.
Okay. Amazing. So I'm going to read this quote before we end because it was really resonating with me and I really wanted to kind of share it. But it says, "You are the living proof that power can be gentle, ambition can be loving, and dreams can be carried with grace. Trust in your magic, honor your rest, and remember, you are creating a legacy by simply showing up every day as yourself." I love that quote.
That's a great one.
I read that and I was like, oh, that's for me. That's for me. Thank you, AI, for helping me to spit out the right quote for this moment, because I was just looking for something to help me understand, okay, so what's next on this journey? Mm-hmm. And right in line with what you're talking about, just got to continue the journey and understand where the magic lies, and that's within us. So thank you so much for joining me today. I do appreciate it. This is a conversation that I wish could definitely go longer because I have so many more questions, because a lot of the people out here, although they are striving to have the mentality like you, they don't necessarily all the way have it. And so they're trying to get there. But even in the journey and understanding that it's possible, that's even something that is encouraging to people. So I'm definitely going to have you come back. But thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you guys for joining us. This has been the Sonshine State. Again, my name is Sonshine Wiley, and I have been your host. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and share. If you would like to, you can join us on our website as well, www.sunshinestate.com. That is www.sunshinestate.com. Again, as always, we got our well-brand apparel here. We got our journals, all of the things, and all of that information will be linked in the description. So you can be wearing your wellness and journaling and doing all the things and being a part of this journey with us. Again, thank you guys so much for joining us. Have a wonderful one. Bye.
So stand out, stand out, stand out. You're here, you're free, absolutely where you need to be.
Thank you for joining the journey to the Sonshine State, a space for health, healing, and wellness.